Welcome to the channel. In this video, I want to talk about how I work full-time and have a business that also operates full-time. I'm only one person. How is it possible for me to do all this? We're doing lawns, we're doing, 100 plus lawns a week. We're doing snow plowing. What happens when you're supposed to be at work and it's snowing and you're supposed to be plowing snow? And what happens when you're cutting grass, but you're at work? Work is rigorous. Work starts at 6 a.m. and goes all the way until like 5:15, and it just goes. It goes and goes. It takes a lot out of you. You're doing 40 hours. You're gonna be tired just from work in itself. And I work at Ford, building these trucks, and it's a physical job. At the end of the day, it's physically taxing, and you get exhausted from the job itself. There's not a whole lot of extra energy to run an entire business. And that is what I want to talk about in today's video. How is it possible to have a snowplowing business, working at Ford full time? Where do you find time and how does it work? All right, so number one, the shift at Ford is a weekend shift. So I work Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So right off the bat, I get a lot of extra days for business that a normal job, a normal shift, wouldn't be possible. If you're working Monday through Friday, that definitely changes things quite a bit, because then you're a weekend business. So, that makes a big difference. Another big difference is Ford jams all the hours, the 40 hours within 4 days. So that means that you're not working a ton of hours really quickly. You're working your hours over time. You're working your hours quickly instead of overtime. You're getting all your hours in 4 days instead of 5. So that gives you a bigger chunk of the week that's available to do your own thing outside of work. So that's number one. But one thing that's really a challenge is just energy in general, because you're burnt out a lot. You're tired. You're worn out. Just from Ford by itself will just wear you out. And, you have to be really cautious of what you're eating, what you're doing. It really does put a stop to all the partying. There's no alcohol. There's no weed. There's no drugs. There's nothing. There's a low sugar diet. You're eating healthy. You're doing all these things. And then sleep is important too. You just have to get enough sleep. Now, when it comes to plowing and salting, Ford actually helps me plow, because every morning before work, I can get out there and I can check my accounts, before ice and things like that. Make sure that there's no ice. Sometimes I'll salt before work, before the business is open. And then sometimes I'll salt after work. I'll get off work. I work 2 days and then I work 2 nights. So I'll salt before. I'll get off, I'll salt after, but I'm always available for an opening. It could actually snow and I can get to my openings and have them done before Ford starts most of the time. Now, sometimes it just happens where the snow just comes at the right time and you can't be in 2 places at once, so you just got to make a call. You might have to miss a day of work. You might have to do something like that, but it happens. Sometimes I've worked a double in the past, got out of work and then did my whole snow plowing route right after. I've done that, but generally it's not that much snow to where it's too big of an issue. So usually it works out pretty good. There's been a couple of times where I've had to leave work or whatever, or figure it out, but at the end of the day, it's not too bad. I still have one of the better records at work. Most people are taking time off just to do whatever anyway, and it usually works out. There's just enough hours, there's just enough personal days, and there's just enough discipline days for you to get through the entire thing. Now this year we're running another truck, so that now I can have a truck going. If I'm at work, at least the truck's going, and I'll have the time to get my commercials. All my commercials I can get to while working at Ford. But having a big residential route makes it challenging. But now my second truck can go out while I'm at Ford. But it is doable. It is possible. So the main thing is just sleep, diet, making sure that your diet's right, making sure your alcohol is not, there's no really, and some people are going to think that it's extreme or excessive. You're not having fun, you're not doing this or that, you're not drinking. And a lot of people can't imagine like a world without drinking or smoking weed or whatever. But when you're operating at the level that I have to operate at, it's just no time. There's no room. There's just no way for. There's no room. There's no more energy. If you have a mild hangover, just 3 beers, and you're just not feeling right the next day, you just can't have that. And especially with plowing, it's going to be hard enough without any alcohol or anything to keep up with snow plowing. You don't want to have an off night. You don't want to have anything because your sleep's going to be messed up. You're already going to be knocked off a little bit. So, my diet's real good. I watch my sugar intake. I'm eating my omega-3s. I'm getting my omega-3s right. My omega-6 to omega-3 ratio in the food is right. I'm eating wild fish. I'm eating beef, chicken, meats like that. I would be doing the grass-fed stuff, but it's a little bit cost prohibitive. It's a little bit too much work to eat that healthy. It's a little culty to eat that healthy. So, I still gotta have a little bit of sweets and things like that. But for the most part, we're doing low sugar. At family events and the holidays, you're eating tons of sweets, but when it's not during the holidays, you're just not really consuming a ton of sugar. There's no soda. There's just water. You're just drinking water. You see on like the snow plowing groups on Facebook, there's people posting, oh, I'm drinking all this Mountain Dew and I'm drinking all this Red Bull. That stuff wrecks you. That stuff takes your energy. I know because I've tried it. I've tried to, before I was really plowing snow, but in my partying days, I tried to use 5-hour energy and Mountain Dew and coffee just to stay awake. It really messes up your balance. It messes up your heart rate. It just screws up your body. So the best thing to do is just get your rest. I drink black coffee, no sugar, no cream. In the morning, black coffee, no sugar, no cream, no breakfast. Just get up, intermittent fast all the way until lunch. Work all day, take lunch, try to eat something healthy for lunch if I can. Chicken, beef, maybe liver, whatever I could find in a local restaurant in Dearborn. Things like that. And that's how I have the energy to outwork anybody. I can outwork my crew. They can be laid off all winter. They could be at home all winter, and they can come when they come to work. I'll outwork them. If I'm working a double, I'll still outwork them. And that's because they're not taking care of their health. I can't control what everybody's doing. Typically my employees, they don't take care of their health. They don't watch their carbohydrate intake. They're not eating clean. They're not watching the foods they eat. I mean, they try, because they're around me, they do try, but they're not really doing it right. They're not really committing to it. They're probably doing alcohol or doing some kind of drugs. I don't know exactly what they're doing, but they're definitely not taking care of themselves to the level that I am, so that they can operate at a higher level. And that's why it is what it is. So that's how it's done. What you do, you get your rest, you eat clean, you intermittent fast, you watch your sugar intake, watch your carbohydrate intake. It's very doable. You can get so much more done than most people think is possible if you just do these easy things, simple things. It's almost like living a double life. Am I going to do it forever? Nope, I'm not going to do it forever. I'm working on solutions to make work less. I still take a day off every week, 1 day a week off. But, just, working a lot is easier when there's a different scenery. If I was working at Ford 7 days a week, I don't think I can do that. I would lose it. I would lose my mind a little bit. But, doing this, I can do this and Ford all the time because it's not so hard. And on top of that, there's a YouTube channel. So that's a third thing that I'm doing. But Anyway, that's just a quick video how I do both. It doesn't cover everything, but it's just a quick overview. Anyway, comment below, tell me what you think. What do you do for a living? How do you make it work? How do you get it all done? And thank you for watching. Have a great day, and hope to hear from you soon. Bye.